One of the biggest pains in life is, comparing yourself to others. We often think, why is she so successful and I'm not? But, honestly, we don't try to understand. Her path and mine are not the same. Remember, if a fish wants to fly like a bird, it'll spend its whole life thinking it's not good enough, even if it can swim across the entire ocean. These days, because of social media, this habit of comparing ourselves has become even worse. We see someone else's success and start to feel like our own life is small. We forget our own talents, and this kind of thinking, well, it slowly pushes people into sadness and hopelessness. That's why today's story is for anyone who has ever felt like, I'll never be as good as them. Listen carefully, because every line in this story can change the way you think. Once there was a small village near a town, and beside that village was a big and beautiful forest. In that village lived a boy named Ethan. He was a hard-working and kind boy, but there was one habit that made him feel sad all the time. He always compared himself with others. When he saw his friend Liam always getting the best grades in class, Ethan would think, I wish I was as smart as him. His neighbor Ryan was very rich. Ethan would think, I wish I had money like him. Even if he saw someone running fast, he would think, why can't I run that fast? These thoughts made Ethan feel more and more unhappy. He couldn't focus on his studies. He didn't enjoy doing anything. All the time he would think, I'll never be like them. One day, a wise old man visited the village. Everyone called him Grandpa Joe. He always gave helpful advice and people loved listening to him. Ethan went up to him and said, Grandpa, I work really hard, but when I see someone doing better than me, I feel really sad. It feels like I'll never be like them. Grandpa Joe smiled and said, come to the oldest tree in the village tomorrow morning. You'll find all your answers there. The next morning, Ethan went to the tree. Grandpa Joe was already waiting there. He said, look around carefully, what do you see? Ethan looked around and said, Grandpa, there are so many different trees. Some are tall, some are short, some have lots of fruits, and some have none. Grandpa Joe smiled and said, now think if this apple tree compared itself to the coconut tree and said, why am I so short? Or the coconut tree said, I wish I had sweet fruits like apples. How would that sound? Ethan laughed and said, that would sound really silly, Grandpa. Then Grandpa Joe asked, okay, now tell me, how does this whole forest feel to you? Ethan replied, it feels very peaceful and beautiful. Everything seems just right. Grandpa Joe said, just like life. Every tree in this forest has its own special quality. In the same way, every person also has different strengths. The apple tree gives sweet fruit. The coconut tree is tall and strong. They are different, but both are important. Then Grandpa Joe took Ethan near a pond. There were many fish swimming in the water, and a little further away a bird was flying in the sky. Grandpa Joe said, now imagine if the fish said, I wish I could fly like the bird. Would that be right? Ethan said, not at all. Fish are made for swimming and birds are made for flying. Grandpa Joe smiled and said gently, then why do you want to be like someone else? You have your own path. You have many good qualities too. Maybe you just don't see them yet. Find your strengths and move forward with them. After hearing Grandpa Joe's words, something changed inside Ethan. He understood every person is different and comparing yourself to others only brings more pain. From that day, Ethan stopped comparing himself with anyone. He started focusing on his own talents and his own work. Slowly, his confidence came back. Life began to feel fresh and exciting again. A few years later, with his hard work, Ethan built his own business. He became an inspiration for the whole village. Whenever someone asked him, how did you become so successful? He would smile and say, never compare yourself with others. If a fish tries to fly, it will always feel like a failure. But if it focuses on swimming, it can own the whole ocean. Remember, the sun and the moon don't shine at the same time, but both are important. Find your path, walk it in your own way. That's when real success comes. If you like this story, give it a like and share it with others. See you again in a new story.